Welcome to my messy garage and to 2022, the time when Russia decided to start World War III, the fuel prices going through the roof, and this car is one of the most desirable cars of this year. Stay tuned to find out why. Because it's raining, I have to do this video in the garage, so excuse the mess. I did the best that I could, considering that I don't have a lot of space available. But let me start off with this. This is my 2012 Chevy Sonic LT. And today I'm going to go through all the quirks and features, which there are practically none, of this car, and I'll show you why everyone wants it. So since we're in the front, I want to start with the quirks and features theme from the front. There is no features. The quirks, I kind of like the headlights. Even though this is a one piece, but they make it look like an old school, and maybe trying to copy BMW with their circular headlights, but instead of having LEDs around the headlights, they just have chrome ring. Yeah, but this old piece is the headlight, and if you would like to remove it, you need to take off the bumper. Ask me how I know. Other than that, it has a fog light. That's the benefit of having an LT package instead of the regular, whatever the regular model is. But rather than that, it looks aggressive, even though this is not the most aggressive corner of this car, but it doesn't look too bad. Yeah. Alright, so this is actually the better corner of this car. The front looks more aggressive, and then it goes to the back, and then the back kind of is missing out. I like the look, I like the style, I like every hatchback. The tires on this thing is pretty small. Well, and now I can see that I need some brakes. So the tires are a 205, if I'm not mistaken, yeah. 205 55 R16. Those are really skinny tires. And those will play later in the video, so stay tuned. But they're not very impressive. Then the door, the mirror. The only feature of that mirror is that it's electrical, you can tilt it, But other than this, just a regular old thing. Nothing really specific. But let's move on to the back door. Alright, so here you are at the back door, and as you can see, there is no handle, but you would expect it. So like you have the handle on the driver's door right outside, and you can grab it. It's not here. Instead, it's right here. Weird. It kind of goes with the design, but you can have a glass over here instead of have this massive piece of plastic on the outside, actually on the inside. But it kind of goes with the flow, and maybe it does some benefit to the aerodynamic style of this car, which probably is not really great. But yeah. If you have family and kids, they won't be able to get into the back seat really easy. So, just so you know. Alright, since it's raining outside and I have to film this video inside the garage, I need to move it to get to the back of it. Because it's a manual, I have a really good quirk. I don't need to start the car to move it. So, here it is. Pull in the handbrake and just pulling it forward. Okay. Done. Let's move to the back. Alright, so continuing with this kind of aggressive look, the back kind of trying to reassemble the front with these lines going to the middle and having this area just like the grille in the front. And the headlights. They also try to be individual pieces, even though this is like all one big piece. I don't blame him. I like the design. It kind of looks interesting. But other than this, it's kind of interesting to see that behind the back wheel there's just that much space, and then this is the end of the bumper. It's a weird look. From the back, it doesn't look great. Actually, from the side, it doesn't look great. From the back, it also doesn't really look great because, you know, that's the thing. And yeah, and since no one believes that this car is a manual, I had to put a sticker. I'm not sure that people even know what the sticker means, but I have it. From other features, it has a wiper. It works. It doesn't touch all the areas. When it goes around, it misses the top and the bottom, but it works. In general, it works. So let's pop the hood. It has an electronic popper. While I'm standing in the water, it's a trunk. It's not a big trunk. Not that I can sit. Well, I can sit in it. I can have like a tail potty, but can I actually sit in it? Let's try to find out. This upper shelf is easily removable. I'm just gonna push it to the back seat. Well, if I'm gonna get locked myself, it's not gonna be easy to get out since I'm only one in the house. I'm just gonna open the door, just in case. Okay. It has a handle, so I can close myself. Okay. Nah. I'm not going to attempt to close it, since it's way too tight. This thing is pushing my head, but it has pretty enough room, and it has a second level with a bunch of junk of mine. So you can have your junk below, and whenever everyone looks at your trunk, it's nice and clean, just like mine. But everything is hidden, which I kind of like. All right. So that is that with the trunk. Just so you know, this latch is gonna give out eventually. This is my third one, because the original one gave up. The one that I replaced it with gave up. Now I have the other one. Hopefully this one will work longer. Okay, so let's go to the back seats. The back seats are not great, but let's check them out. All right, let's get to the back seat. So, since I'm only driving here by myself most of the time, whenever I have passengers, they put the seat in the most comfortable position. And I am 5'11", and I have plenty of room, plenty of knee room, so I'm pretty comfortable. There is not much room over here. The seat only splits into two pieces, this and then like 60-40, the 40 being on the driver's side. And other than that, that is pretty much it. Oh, you do get a cup holder, only one, but it's shareable with the front seat. You have window controls, you have the lock unlock button, and you have a light. That is it. And then you can just hold on to your life while your driver is taken to your place. And that is all. Actually, it's pretty comfortable, not too bad though. Let's get to the front. Okay, so here I am at the passenger seat, right in front of the seat that I was sitting before. And I didn't move the seat, I have now from over here. And I don't get a lot. This armrest is for the driver. The passenger gets nothing. It gets a cup holder. You can have your water bottle in here. It does have two glove boxes and two beer storages right here on each side of the stereo. This 2012 model, which is the first year of when they made Sonic, this is probably one of the only ones that came with the orange plastic on the interior. All the other ones are gray, so they are even more boring than this one on the inside. Other than that, you have this mirror that has the OnStar. You can connect to your insurance, and whenever you get into an accident, hopefully you don't, that's the button you can press from here instead of giving you a call. But from the design perspective, it's all normal, nothing out of the place. You have the shifter. It's a manual 5-speed. That's it. Yeah, the passenger doesn't get much stuff. You have the vent. You have another vent, or access to this tiny glove compartment, and just a bigger one. But if you're gonna open it, you have to kind of scooch a bit. There is a small storage right there, and the handbrake. Pretty much that's it. And the sun visor. Oh, the sun visor does have a mirror, but it doesn't have a light. So if you need to look into yourself while you're driving, or like your passenger needs to look into how they're looking, they don't have a light. So that's it. They do have these lights. I replaced them with LEDs because it's brighter, and I can actually see stuff on the inside. The steering wheel is the same. I do have this covered because the car has seen a lot of miles, and for the condition it's in right now, I would say it's pretty good. Doesn't look too bad. I will show you in a second. But the steering wheel was worn out in one place on top, and I kind of want to cover it, so I used my covered from a different car over here. No one's gonna mind, I hope. And let's get to the driver's seat to see some more fun stuff. Alright, so here is the proof. We have 3 pedals. We have a access panel for something. Yeah, that's the fuse boxes. So over here, what we have interesting, even though this is kind of the economy car, it does have automatic headlights and the fog lights. Then you have the adjustments for your instrument cluster. Then here's the instrument cluster itself. It is very simple. All you have is a tachometer, the speedometer is everything here, and then you have a stereo. Very simple. Those are the 2 storage boxes I was talking about. There is another shelf right there on top. I'm holding my Easy Pass in it. This thing turned out to be very useful. Previously I had no idea what it was for. Maybe like a parking ticket. I had no idea, but where I live, I need to have a key card to get in. So I'm just keeping this key card in here whenever I'm driving, and then pull it out, pull it back in. Easy. I would love to see that in other cars, but I guess my community where I live is way too old school. But anyway, there's the storage. I got some stuff in it. That is pretty much it. You have the AC, recirculation. When you press this button to heat up the rear windows, it also warms up the side mirrors. But that is pretty much all. Yeah. Yeah, these are the lights, the mirror, and I also got this edition since there is no way to know if your car is overheating. I got this stuff. It was not very expensive, but it shows me all the needed information. So let me demonstrate in a second. Alright, so here's the key. The key is pretty simple. It does not have a trunk open, so the only way to open the trunk is through the door. If it's stuck, you need to put the seats back and do some magic to have that open. So the key is opening up like this, just like every Volkswagen used to do. And then you have your keyhole right next to the face mask holder. And here it is, 143,510 miles. That is how much this car has seen road. And alright, so here on the instrument cluster, all the warning lights will be shown over here. Here you have a speedometer, the average miles per gallon, which you can scroll through, and the mileage of 143,000 miles. So yeah, this car I have seen a lot. On the steering wheel you have the cruise control and the radio control. It does have a voice control, believe it or not, but let's give it a test. I'm 100% sure it's not gonna work.
Ready?
Call mom.
Call using OnStar hands-free calling. Please say the name or number to call.
Mom.
Pardon?
Mom.
Help. Please say the name or number to call. You can also say cancel, help, or goodbye.
Mom.
Help. Please say the name or number to call. You can also say cancel, help, or goodbye.
Mom.
Help. Please say the name or number to call. Thank you. Goodbye.
Yeah, as you can see, that thing doesn't work. The simple 3 letters it still cannot recognize. And then we try to dial a number. It does recognize the number, the digits itself, but it does not recognize anything else. This is the unit that I installed. As you might see right here, it shows the engine coolant temperature and the engine oil temperature. The speed, the time, how long you've been driving, and what's the distance you've been driving since the car started. So practically I just needed these two. You can go through it and it will show you more details, but this is the one that I actually need. Since there is no temperature gauge on this car, and that's the only way you can do it. Some people replace the whole panel and have 2 other things to show here, but those would require to manually route the cable in to the engine bay and then connect all this stuff. It's a lot more work that way than this, and it's made way more cheaper. So since we already went over everything on the inside, let's go and talk about that engine. Right, so let's pop the hood and let's see what's up. Voila! It's a 1.8 liter 4-cylinder engine. Nothing impressive in here as well. It's not turbo. It's very simple. And it works. So, I guess that is it. So one thing that you might have not noticed is the exhaust pipe, because you can barely see it. It is right here. And I think we can give it a rev. One confusing thing of this car is this rear, actually. Whenever you open the car, whenever you leave the car, the reverse lights are on. I'm guessing it's a design of Chevrolet, so whenever you're done at night and you're leaving, it will illuminate the area around you. But it confuses the hell out of people in the big cities. So whenever you're trying to get out of the parking spot and then you see this and the guy is leaving, you assume that the guy is actually leaving of the parking spot, but he's going to the store, and then you're stuck. So crazy. Anyway, let's move on. So let's finish up with this car. Why is it so that people want this car so much in this time of age? Well, when the prices of fuel is going over $4 per gallon and diesel is over $5 per gallon, you need something economical. And you would probably think like a Toyota Prius. That is very economical. True. But then there is this. It doesn't have any fancy technology. There is not a lot of stuff to break. And if it breaks, it's not very expensive to repair. That 1.8 liter engine makes 140 horsepower, which is pretty efficient for this. It can go easily the speed limit and above it on the highway. The only thing it's bad and it's good it's its tires. See, they are 205. They're not very wide, and whenever you're going on high speed, it's not very stable. You cannot depend on this car to do some crazy maneuverability on a highway running away from cops or whatever your desire is. Whenever it blows the wind to your side, the whole car moves to the side. You can just turn your blinker to the right and off you go without ever touching the steering wheel, because the wind will move it. But also the positive of it, it's because of those tiny tires and skinny tires, the car gets good fuel economy. So the best that I personally got on this car was 42 miles per gallon on a highway. It's kind of impressive considering that the front of the car doesn't look that aerodynamic. It kind of looks very aggressive, and usually the aggressive design doesn't refer to the car being very fuel efficient, but it's also very light. I will post a number how heavy this car is, or not heavy, on the screen, but it is very light, and I can move it by myself, and that is probably why everyone wants it. That is also why no one knew about it beforehand, and turns out there is a lot of people who own these cars and they love them. And I can actually, the first time when I got this car, I thought to myself, what a turd, I'm just gonna fix it and sell it. And that's been like a year almost since I bought this car. First, no one wanted to buy it. Now I don't want to sell it. So I guess that will conclude our video about this 2012 Chevy Sonic. There'll be a lot of updates and upgrades coming since I decided I'm not selling this beast. I will keep it, and I'll be doing some updates. Hopefully I'll take it on a racetrack. Hopefully it survives. No one knows, but for now I'm gonna keep this thing, and if you would like to see what will come of it, will it survive any of my shenanigans, and considering how high of a mileage it has, that's only a guess. But stay tuned for more. We'll be doing a lot of stuff with this car, and there is a lot of other cars that I have behind that door that I will want to share with you. And one in particular car might be going to war, and we'll be preparing it. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.